Now, let's talk about the intentional topic of the week. And it is actually the last step in the stairwell to intentional living process. And I'm excited about this one because this is the one that we get to win at. Okay. Yeah, it's corny. It's winning. We're going to be winning. And we win by practice. So, one of the key things that I think is that intentional life is a reflective life. You're constantly looking at the results of your actions and addressing them accordingly. That is how you win. That is how you win at this intentional life. You're actually looking back and learning from your past, not being stuck there, because that's a thing. And I talk about that in the reset course, actually, in closing the door on your past, but not being stuck there, but actually looking back and seeing what lessons you can learn from that, right? And looking back and learning and tweaking your routines. You know, one of my favorite verses is kind of like the main pillar to everything that I do is Psalm 90:12. Matter of fact, I even got it behind me. You can't really see it, but it's right here. I have it on my wall behind me, and it says to teach us to use wisely all the time we have. And it is this psalm is the psalmist who wrote this is talking to God and is saying, like, you know, God, you made my life, you set me up, you did all these things, you've created life, and you've given us a set amount of time. Like they say, I believe somewhere in that psalm it says, you know, you've given us 70, maybe 80 years. It literally says that. So it's so cool that our average lifespan is typically 70 to 80 years. But that's besides the point. I can get nerdy anyway, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there because that's not what we're talking about today. But this is one of the key things that I'm always asking God, like, teach me how to use my time wisely. And I think one of the key things that we can do with that is to have routines. You know, you already have routines. Here's another quote for you. We are what we repeatedly do. This is a quote from Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. I was thinking about my own life and thinking about the fact that all of us already have routines, and our routines are telling us who we are because we are what we repeatedly do. So, what are your routines telling you? What are your routines telling you about yourself? My routines for a long time did not tell me that I was the person that I aspired to be, right? I aspired to be fit, but I was eating all types of junk, right? Now, granted, sometimes I still do, but I'm getting better. My dreams told me that I wanted to be an author, but I did not write. I did not try. I didn't do anything or set up any life routines that would help me do that until I did. And now I have a devotional and I got other things coming. But you know, praise be to God. A long time my routines did not tell me that I actually cared about my family, right? So changing how I did things was key. For a long time my routines didn't tell me that I was the friend that I said I wanted to be. So I changed my routines, the woman of God that I wanted to be. So I changed my routines. So what are your current routines telling you about yourself? Well, first of all, let me actually break down routines real quick, okay? Routines are the practices that you do daily. Let me actually give you the definition. The definition of a routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed, a fixed program, performed as a part of a regular procedure rather than a special reason. So a routine isn't something special. Sometimes routines are boring. A lot of times routines are boring, but they're telling you about yourself. Okay. Remember, you are what you repeatedly do. So, what is your sequence of actions regularly followed? What is your fixed program? What is something that is performed as part of a regular procedure rather than a special occasion, telling you about yourself? Because we are what we repeatedly do. So routines are just so key in your life. A routine needs to define where you're going, what you're doing, how you're doing it, right? And that's honestly the cheat code. That's honestly the end all be all of all these things. We can acknowledge our dreams all we want. We can put processes in place, right? Our goals and all that kind of stuff. We can write down our values. We can write down our principles. We can say, this is where I want to go. This is where I am. But if we don't build routines to actually execute, to actually get us closer to our desired state, then we're never going to make it. We're not going to have the intentional life that we believe we desire, we want. So I really encourage you to take some time and look at you know what? We got homework today. We got homework. I want you to take some time and look at the actions that you repeatedly do. If you've been following me and you have gone through these podcasts, I'm hoping that you're just not listening to what I'm saying and throwing it away. I'm hoping that you're actually taking some time to acknowledge your dreams, to begin to write down your own principles and begin to look at the processes that you do, right? But I encourage you to take some time and look at your routines and really decide, are my routines actually getting me closer to where I want to be? We are what we repeatedly do. So what are your repeated actions telling you about you? Oh, that rhymed a little bit. All right, y'all. So that's all I got for you today. We broke down over these past 7 weeks. We talked about a monthly review in there as well. And next week, we're going to be talking about monthly reviewing. But we talked about acknowledging our dreams. We talked about living by principle. We talked about executing by process. And today we learned that we are what we repeatedly do. And we're going to begin to win by practice. So I encourage you to take some time and look at your routines. This is the homework. Look at your routines and see, are these routines telling me what I want to hear? Are they telling me that I am the person that I desire to be? Okay. And if not, I encourage you to start looking at your routines and figuring out what needs to change. If you need help with that, I'm here. Join my email list so that you can get a hold of this information and begin the process of really learning how to be still, learning how to live this stairwell of intentional living. Okay. Sorry. We got into it. We got it done. Now, of course, I cannot end without our Dream Boost prayer, without our prayer of the week.